This is Big Apple Sports with Kyle Basso.
The Yankees are back on top. The New York Rangers on the stage.
Here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome all of you to episode 2 of Big Apple Sports. That's right, Derek Jeter, baby, number 2. We made it. Thank you guys so much for being back. It's been a lot of fun so far. I'm glad we're sticking with it. It looks like we're starting to gain a following a little bit. Remember, you can follow the show's Instagram account at Big Apple Sports NY. TikTok account will be coming soon. And oh boy, do we got a lot to talk about today. I think my emotions are gonna get going a little bit today. Because we start today's show in sadness. Right. We start in absolute sadness as my boys, the New York Giants, lost a absolute heartbreaker in overtime to the Jets in the Battle of New York. Now I know there could be both Giant fans and Jet fans listening. I cater to all audiences. You know, I'm not going to just be biased towards certain teams, even if I seem like it. So, if you're a Jet fan and this is a huge win for you, congratulations. But if anyone saw in my video last night, I'm very sad about it. I will openly admit, okay? You guys beat us. Congrats. You beat us on straight bullshit. Alright? Stay calm, Kyle. Stay calm. So, the score is 10-10. There's 30 seconds left in the game? There's no time left in the freaking game. We have the ball, 4th and 1. Now, my friend, Jack, who was on the show last week, says, we should have just gone for it. Oh, it's only 1 yard, guarantee you get the yard and end the game. Now, that's what anyone would do in Madden. That's what I would do in Madden. It's very, very tempting because 1 yard seems easy. 1 yard seems really easy. Maybe you can argue it is. Alright? Maybe you can argue 1 yard is nothing. Alright, we got the tush push, was becoming a very big thing in the NFL. And it seems very successful for most teams where you just push everyone forwards to get the yard. But the Giants did it once this year and they failed, so. You can also hand it off to Saquon. However, a lot of the times Saquon will rip off a big run, but a lot of the other times Saquon gets stuffed. And against that nasty, loaded Jets defensive line versus our awful offensive line, don't you think there's at least a decent chance you get stuffed if you just try and go for that 1 yard and you lose yardage? Say you do not. You gotta put yourself in the mindset of Brian Dable. All right, you gotta put yourself in the mindset of a head coach. If you just decide to go for it and then you don't get it, you're in the same exact situation that ended up happening anyway with the missed field goal. They get the ball right there with a good amount of time. Not a great amount of time, but with some time left on the clock. It would have been the same thing anyway if they had gone for it and didn't get it. Now, if you get it, the game's over. But if you go for that field goal, when you're weighing that option in your head as a coach, whether go for the field goal, don't go for the field goal, you're considering that a chip shot. You're considering that a guaranteed make. You're not even considering in your head the fact that he might miss. Graham Gano is not supposed to miss that kick, and that is on him. You cannot blame Dable for that. Like, Jack, you were saying, he should have expected that it might be blocked. You can't anticipate a kick like that to be blocked. Kicks almost never get blocked. Blocking a kick is a rare, special thing. Okay? It was rainy. So what? Give me a break. It was 30 yards, okay? He should have made the 47-yarder that he missed earlier. But so we at least thought he would make 30 yards, 35 yards. Sheesh. We had the ball at the 25. All right? You got to make it from there. So you're thinking you're either up by 6 and they have to go the length of the field with like almost no timeouts. Forget if they had a timeout or not. I think they had one timeout. They have to go all that way with almost no time, needing a touchdown. Or you risk going for it, not getting it, and they're only up by 3, which is the same result that would have happened anyway with the missed field goal. So taking the points was the safe bet. A miss was not supposed to happen. But it did, and it is all Graham Gano's fault, not Brian Dable's. It made me so mad. It made me so mad because first that choke job happens, right? We miss a chip shot kick. And then I start panicking. I'm like, no, we're not going to choke. We're not going to choke. And then the defense, which has been dominating all game, starts getting carved up like a Thanksgiving turkey. Like Patrick Mahomes was their quarterback all of a sudden. All of a sudden, Zach Wilson knew how to throw the ball downfield. And they get into field goal range and they tie the game. And we end up losing. Some really costly pass interference penalties by Adoree Jackson really hurt us. The defense needed to be better in that final series. Alright, you can't completely blame Dable. Can't completely blame Gano. Everything crumbled for the Giants in that fourth quarter. Everything crumbled. And it was sad. Even in overtime, we could have made up for it. We won the toss, got the ball first. Didn't do anything with it. Sad. Zach Wilson quoted as saying, "We had no doubt going into overtime that we were going to win that game." Absolute choke job for the Giants made me very upset. Jets now 4-3. Giants now 2-6 in last place. Graham Gano quoted as saying, "I have no excuses. That's not who I am." Well, you suck, Graham. You got to do better. After that, you look at the quarterback situation. This was a wild game. So many things happening. Like, damn, this happening. Apparently the refs screwed up, not spotting the ball right, and that's how they got that field goal off. So many things happening. Like, geesh. But another thing that happening was the wild quarterback situation, all right? Daniel Jones still battling the neck. He should be back next week. So Tyrod Taylor gets to start at quarterback for the Giants. And right when we think our quarterback situation couldn't get any worse, all right, Taylor was doing absolutely nothing. He hurts his ribs, and it's a bad rib injury. He got taken to the hospital. Last update I checked, he's still in the hospital. Prayers to Tyrod. So then we bring in the great, the mighty, the elite, the dominant, the future Hall of Famer, Tommy DeVito. The undrafted third stringer. And do we give him a chance to be the next Brock Purdy? Absolutely not. Brian Dable acted like he wasn't even there, folks. Can you believe it? He attempted one pass in the entire second half. I think that was on his first drive. And then we literally just tried to run the clock out and win 10-7, and we did not even give him any chance at all to pass. Sad. What's the point of having a quarterback? We might as well run Wildcat with Saquon the whole time, all right? If you're signed to an NFL roster, and especially if you were just promoted as the backup, there should have been some plays worked on in practice that were worth running with him to pass. Giving us a complete one-dimensional offense in the second half, just trying to win the game on defense, was definitely another reason we lost. Another reason we gave them a chance to come back. Another reason we gave ourselves a chance to choke. You cannot just run the ball the whole time. Horrible. Tough loss for the G-men. We're going to have to move on. Next week, as I said, Jones should be back. I sure as hell hope we don't trust Tommy DeVito to be the backup. I hope we sign a backup. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. I almost said rest in peace. He's not dead, but I mean prayers to Tyrod in his recovery. I hope he comes back soon. But hey, Joe Shane, Coach Dable, Giants organization, please sign a backup next week that can actually throw the football. Please and thank you. We're having Jones come off straight off a serious neck injury. We don't know what's going to happen. Sure as hell hope he stays healthy. But as clearly as we saw last week, you always have to be prepared. So please, for the love of God, sign a backup that you actually trust to throw the damn ball. Because what's a quarterback's job? A quarterback's job is ready, hike, throw the damn ball. If a quarterback was just there to hand it off every time, we could just either have Wildcat straight to Saquon, or we could just have someone there called the handoffer. Like basically what he was. Like, quarterbacks are designed to throw, especially in the modern game. So, adapt and adjust. Hopefully we make adjustments next week. Hopefully Graham Gano gets his head out of his ass. It was still the right decision to kick. Sad it didn't pan out. We've got some breaking news on the podcast, folks. Some breaking news. Looks like Leonard Williams has been traded to the Seattle Seahawks. That's right. Ian Rappaport with the report. We're trading for a 2024 second-round pick and a 2025 fifth-round pick. We gave up several draft picks a couple years ago to get him from the Jets. He's a pretty good player, but it looks like the Giants are starting to want to sell more towards the future. Sitting at 2-6, last place. Season not looking good. I hate to lose a good player, but let me tell you, I can't argue with it. I can't argue with it. That loss really made the season look like a tough, tall task at this point. Things are not looking too good. Maybe my optimism last week might have been a little misplaced about this team, and it's time to sell, and I think Leonard Williams might only be the first of several players that are moved. Let's stock up on draft picks. Let's get this thing fixed. Sucks, but hey, I can't argue with it. Good luck, Leonard Williams. But defensive line is the one spot in the defense where we actually have some depth, so it's all good. Next, we're going to get into some World Series and then back to New York later in the show. Who's ready for game number 3 of the 2023 World Series? We have not been on the air since the World Series has begun. Give you a quick recap. Game 1 was taken by Texas in a thrilling come-from-behind victory. Game-tying home run by Corey Seager. Walk-off by Adolis Garcia. I wanted to talk about it with y'all right after it happened. It was so thrilling. Rangers won that one. Extra inning, 6-5. And Saturday, the D-backs came roaring back. Dominant 9-1 victory. Texas couldn't master up anything on offense against the dominant Merrill Kelly. Let me tell you something. The Diamondbacks have really good, underrated pitching. They're full of pretty good pitchers in Arizona down there in the desert, where they'll play Game 3 tonight, out in the Arizona desert, a.k.a. Chase Field. I'm kidding. It seems like a good city and a good ballpark. All right, folks, here we go. Now, as promised last week, we are going to give you the proper positional breakdown for the 2023 World Series. We tried doing this with Jack last week. We got the teams wrong because we admittedly thought the Phillies would make it. But here we go. Positional breakdown. Who has got the edge at each position between the Diamondbacks and Rangers? Starting pitching. You got the main rotations with Montgomery, Scherzer, Evaldi being the main big 3 guys for Texas. The biggest 3 guys for Arizona being, of course, Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, and Brandon Pfaadt. Now, this might surprise you, but I would pick better starting pitching to go to Arizona. That's right. Arizona, better pitching. I think these young pitchers are very underrated. They've performed very well in the playoffs, better than a lot of the Rangers guys have done in the playoffs. And obviously, the Rangers starting pitching has a lot of injuries. They've kind of had to put it together. And I think one of the reasons the underrated Diamondbacks got here is because of how good their young pitching is, how underrated their young pitching is. And this might be a surprise given that the bullpen was a struggle for this team all season. But the better bullpen is the Texas Rangers. There's just not that many huge pieces in the Diamondbacks bullpen. They got Paul Sewald. He's a huge piece. He's actually pretty nasty. But other than him, they don't really have too much depth. Like Joe Mantiply, Scott McGough, Miguel Castro. Miguel Castro is the one that gave up that walk-off. So, Diamondbacks, just not enough big-name pieces in their bullpen. I'd say that's the weakness of their team. But the Rangers, when the Rangers used to have no bullpen, they did a great job putting stuff together. And they have several good pieces, including a dominant 8-9 closing pair of Aroldis Chapman and Jose Leclerc. So Rangers, absolutely the better bullpen. Now, let's get into the fun part, the offense, position by position. Let's start with first base, the contact hitting extraordinaire Nathaniel Lowe versus the power hitting extraordinaire Christian Walker. That's a good one. And I'm debating this one a little bit. I'm going to have to go with Mr. Walker. I think his power is more consistent than Lowe's contact. It gives him higher OPS, better analytics, and let's admit, as much as the playoffs are about contact, a big home run here and there is everything in the postseason, as long as your contact is still somewhat similar. So, Walker being a cleanup hitter, Lau usually batting low in the lineup, I give the answer, the winner, to Christian Walker. Let's move on to second base as we move around the diamond. Superstar, the dynamic, the athletic NLCS MVP, the well-deserving NLCS MVP, fun player to watch play on all five tools, Ketel Marte, going up against superstar second baseman himself, Marcus Semien. Now, we talked about him last week. We know how much of a star player Marcus Semien is. This is a great matchup. This is a battle of leadoff hitters. We know Marcus Semien is a Gold Glove defender. He's been in conversation for the MVP with his power at the plate. However, he's struggled in the playoffs. I'm going to ride the hot hand and go with the more versatile Ketel Marte at second base. And it is now 2-0 Diamondbacks. And I'm predicting that the Rangers are going to win this World Series. With the offense is 2-0 Diamondbacks so far. Overall, with the pitching, 3-1 Arizona. So, maybe this is more interesting than we thought. Let's keep moving around the diamond over to shortstop. Now, I think this is more like a 15 versus a 2 in March Madness. Duke has lost in those big, Kentucky's lost in those big 15 versus 2 March Madness. I think Georgetown once lost a big one in a 15 versus a 2. But, come on. Geraldo Perdomo, their 9-hitter, who I'll admit has had some big hits this playoffs. He's honestly a pretty good underrated piece. He's had some big moments in the playoffs. Good young player. But going up against phenom, superstar, best player in the entire Texas roster, Corey Seager. Give me Corey Seager all day, every day. Guarantee you he has the better series. That's a pretty safe bet, even when comparing it to March Madness. Corey Seager's home run in Game 1 to tie it changed the whole game. Absolutely iconic. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. Love myself some Corey Seager. Also, if you watch the post-game show with the boys, Derek Jeter, who of course everyone respects, said Corey Seager is his favorite baseball player to watch right now in the modern game. That's how much he likes Corey Seager and what he brings to the position of shortstop. And it's well-deserved. Shout out to Corey Seager, best shortstop in baseball. I said it. Third base. We've got Evan Longevity, as I came up with. He's still playing, folks. He's not dead yet. Evan Longoria. I'm just going to get his age real quick. "38 years old. Evan Longoria, 38 years old, going up against the rookie Josh Young. Now, we know what Evan Longoria has done for the game, but he is past his prime. It's good to see him make the run at the World Series at his age. He's still a pretty good defender, has that veteran experience where he can come up clutch at the plate. But Josh Young is a way better hitter at his age. Give me Josh, as he bats 8th usually like 7th or 8th, in an absolutely loaded Texas lineup. That's the infield. Why don't we go to one of the most important positions, the backstop, the man behind the plate. So important to both the offense and the defense. You've got really, really good young catcher who's had lots of big home runs, lots of big hits in this playoffs, is really starting to have his kind of coming out party this playoffs. Gabriel Moreno, the number 3 hitter for Arizona, at least in some games. He's usually towards the top of the order. Going up against Jonah Heim, an all-star starting catcher for the Rangers this year himself. It's a very good matchup. This is another one, though, where I'm going to ride the hot hand and go with Moreno. Moreno's just been too good for the Diamondbacks this postseason. Keep in mind, the Blue Jays gave him up. The Blue Jays had this good young player, and they gave him up just to get Dalton Varsho. Not going to look good as a trade long-term for them. And they gave up Gurriel, another big piece of the Diamondbacks, in that same trade. Not a good trade for the Blue Jays. But Gabriel Moreno, but a huge piece for the D-backs. And Jonah Heim's still been pretty solid, but not as good as he was in the regular season. So D-backs get the edge there. We are going to go to the outfield. Let's go over to left field with the aforementioned Lourdes Gurriel representing Arizona. For the Rangers, young phenom, another young phenom. Texas has so many good young players. Evan Carter. We've seen how huge Evan Carter's been this playoffs. And as much as Gurriel has been pretty good, he's got good power. He's had good power both regular season and playoffs. Give me Evan Carter, a rising superstar for Texas. Center field, the battle of defensive stalwarts. Stalwarts, that's a funny word. Alek Thomas going up against Leody Taveras. Why do I have to decide these things? That's tough. I feel like Alek Thomas is more of a platoon guy for the D-backs that doesn't necessarily have to play every single day. Meanwhile, Taveras is made that insane catch earlier in the playoffs, and I think he's a mainstay in that outfield because what he does for their defense. So because of defense, I would give the edge to Taveras. Now, right field, we got a battle of sluggers. This is like Kentucky versus UConn in the Final Four. Corbin Carroll, lock for Rookie of the Year, already has reached rising superstar status. Going up against Adolis Garcia, who during the playoffs is starting to get up to superstar status. ALCS MVP. And as much as I love Corbin Carroll, and I think Corbin Carroll might profile long-term as the better player, you're going to call me crazy for this, but I'm going to go with Adolis Garcia just because he's been so hot, following up his ALCS MVP with that huge walk-off in Game 1. Give me Garcia. DH, you got Mitch Garver against Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham, pretty good piece to add depth to that Diamondbacks lineup. But Mitch Garver is a beast. He earned that spot for his tremendous power. Give me Mitchell. It comes out to 7-4, Texas with the advantage. So, mathematically proven, I predicted it. The Texas Rangers will win. the World Series. Give that scrappy young D-backs team credit. Plus, they do have the edge in several positions. 7-4 is kind of close. So, I think it's going to go 6 games. Texas in 6. I think might even be tonight. Arizona catches their second win, but I picked the Rangers tonight, so I think it'll come later. But still, Texas in 6. So now we have finished discussing the baseball side of things. Might get into the Yankees a little later. What's up with the Juan Soto front? But let's move on to some things that we haven't really gotten to talk about too much earlier on. Let's move on to some hoops. Go New York, go New York. Well, I'll celebrate more when we actually start winning, because the Knicks have taken yet another loss to move down to a disappointing 1-2 to start the year. Still very early, but the Knicks lost to the Pelicans on the road 96-87. Defensive game. Sad thing for us, we could literally do nothing on offense. We literally had 12 points in the first quarter. Started getting crushed. Made a little bit of an effort to come back, but truthfully never fully recovered. And the biggest problem was turnovers. 18 turnovers. 18 turnovers, which is absolutely unacceptable. You can't win if you're constantly giving up the ball that much. And that's something Coach Tips preaches, to take care of the ball. Take care of the ball. Play good defense. You got to do better than that, New York, all right? And that's not even the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that our stars ain't showing up. Julius. Listen to me, Julius. Julius Randle has to play better. He struggled against the Celtics. Decent against Atlanta. Not great. But now listen. Against the Pelicans, 10 points, 12 boards. So he did have a double-double, but only 10 points, as I said. He had 10 points on 4 of 15 shooting and 0 for 5 from 3. Absolutely putrid. He made barely over a quarter of his shots. Didn't make a 3. Need more from him. He was really terrible last night. And Brunson, who looked like he was finding it, he struggled a bit against the Celtics, but dominated against Atlanta. Brunson only scored 14 points on 4 of 14. Only 1 for 5 from 3. In 2 of our first 3 games so far, Brunson and Randle have really struggled. And it's very concerning. We're not going to win if our 2 superstars don't step up and play better. And that's what we need. RJ Barrett continues to be pretty good. I like what I see from RJ so far. He dropped 18. He was our only somewhat competent scorer during the game, even though no one got over 20. However, RJ continues to struggle with his shot, as he was only 1 of 6 from 3. Knicks need to do better. Hey, I'm not gonna freak out. I'm not gonna overreact. It's very early. But with the way some of our main cogs, our main pieces are kind of struggling right now, I'm a little bit concerned. I'm very concerned, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And let me tell you something, guys. The schedule is so weird right now. So, first we played Atlanta on Friday. In Atlanta. So we're on a bit of a road trip right now, right? And then we immediately hop on the airplane to travel to New Orleans to battle the Pelicans the very next day on Saturday. So back-to-backs happen over the course of it. That's normal, so what? But then we were off yesterday. We're off today just to go to Cleveland and play another back-to-back tomorrow and Wednesday, 1 in Cleveland, 1 in New York. So why is this the schedule? This is weird. Why is the schedule so imbalanced to where we're literally playing 2 back-to-backs in a row with 2 days off in between? Wouldn't it make more sense to play Friday and then Sunday and then Tuesday? Why are we literally playing Friday, Saturday, and then 2 days, and then play 2 days again? You like just space it out? Very weird scheduling quirk I see there, but I'm not the one in charge of these things, so if they want to just go from not playing multiple days to just back to back, not playing multiple days again to back, that's their choice. That's their decision. I don't know. But hey, there's a lot of time left. Go New York, go New York, go. Am I right? Hey now. Alright, next, let's get into some New York Rangers. What's going on in the hockey world? Much better than the Knicks. Obviously, the season's been going on a lot longer, but let me tell you something. Them New York Rangers, 6-2, dominating on the Canada trip right now. The Canada trip will conclude tonight at 7:30 in Winnipeg against the Jets. Saying Jets reminds me of the football. Winnipeg Jets. Nothing to do with those other Jets. I'm not even going to think about it. Not even going to think about it. 7:30 Rangers Jets. Winnipeg Jets. To conclude the Canada trip. It's been a fantastic Canada trip so far for the Rangers. So what's up with the Rangers' hot start, folks? Why has it happened? I'm going to give you the big reason why it happened. Because like a lot of our stars are playing pretty well. You know, Kreider, Panarin looking pretty good. The kids are looking better this year. I'm going to tell you the real reason why the Rangers have been successful. Because not every single one of their players are clicking on all cylinders, right? Zibanejad has struggled so far. Hedl has kind of struggled so far. But the reason we're dominating is Coach Pete. That's right. The Rangers finally have a good coach, folks. Peter Laviolette, as I call him, Coach Pete, has been a difference maker to this team, all right? At first, I thought Gallant was good until I really did my research and looked more into it. Gallant was a very hands-off coach, which the players liked to begin with. Then they realized they kind of needed more push, more direction. Plus, it really had an impact on the kids not being able to develop. Gallant just being Mr. Chill guy, all hands-off, really light on the players. Peter Laviolette has lots of experience as a head coach. He coached in Pittsburgh, and Washington, and Philadelphia, and Carolina. All right, guy has been all over the place. Tons of experience, and that's huge because unlike Gallant, he really understands how the modern hockey game is played, and they now have a good, nuanced, modern, hard-working hockey training system that fits really well for today's game. And he has a way more hands-on approach than Gerard Gallant. He pushes them, he provides energy, he makes them work. Jacob Trouba, Rangers captain, quoted as saying, "He's given us all the tools we need to be successful." He's pushing them in practice as the new sheriff in town. He communicates with his players. He's improving the kids. He doesn't change the lines every 5 seconds like Gallant does. He's letting them build chemistry, keeping a consistent lineup. He's basically a complete opposite kind of coach. Hard-nosed, hands-on versus laid-back, hands-off. Coach, and it's the change the Rangers needed. Completely opposite from Gallant. And early season returns are very encouraging. Good job to the Rangers and good job to Coach Pete. I hope they keep it up. Welcome back to the podcast. We bring in our second guest, our very next guest of the second ever episode of Big Apple Sports. We bring in someone very special to me, my girl. It's Erin Spagnolo. Erin, thanks so much for joining the podcast. My first question that I got to fire at you right away. I just have to. Are you related to former Giants defensive coordinator Steve Spagnolo?
No, I've never heard of that person before.
Oh, he was a good coach. He was a very good coach. So it's just a coincidence? Could he be a distant cousin, distant relative or something?
Probably not. Where's he from?
He's from Northbridge, Massachusetts.
Probably not related to him.
Probably not, right? We're gonna have to check the family
Um,
tree in the genetics. So, as you know, you are here on a sports podcast, and I've been kind of mixed on your like I've been kind of in the dark somewhat on your level of passion towards sports the last couple of years. But I feel like you're starting to like sports a little more, especially football. So, what sport is your favorite, and how much are you into it?
I would say my favorite is probably hockey.
Go
Then
Rangers!
what? Yeah, then I would say football.
Winning streak, winning streak, winning streak. Sorry. And then
Yeah,
football.
definitely hockey and
Aaron
football.
likes the big tough men with the big muscles and the contact sports like football, tackles, hockey, big hits.
It's
Like,
just
are you
hockey
like,
is
oh,
the
those are my big sexy boys?
well, hockey is the best because it's really fast paced, unlike baseball, which is way too boring.
Oh, I'm watching the World Series right now. Baseball is amazing. You're missing out, but that's fine. I'm happy. The reason I asked that question is because I want to talk about the things that you like, the things that you're interested in. You're my guest, so I'll get to this, a topic that viewers might be surprised that we haven't brought up on this show. I want to know what's going on with Mister. What's he, number 5? Mister Kelsey.
Travis Kelsey?
Yeah, I want to know what's going on with him and a certain pop star.
He's 87.
No, he's not 87. Get out of here.
Yeah, he is.
My girlfriend knows more about football than me, everyone. He is.
Because Taylor Swift has a song on her first album that mentions the numbers 87 and 89.
Aw, so what are you saying? They were just meant to be together?
Exactly, and they were also both born in 1989.
Wow, it's destiny written in the stars. So tell me, this is why I'm bringing you in as a guest. Well, one of the reasons, because I
That's
feel
not
like
why.
no, this is one of the reasons. Because I feel like you are a Taylor Swift reporter. You are a Taylor Swift expert. So many football fans have been interested in this story. So that's where I'm going to go to you. Tell me everything you can about Travis Kelsey, number 87, and Taylor Swift. How did they meet? How did this happen? I heard there was something having to do with like a friendship bracelet, which is really big on their concerts. What do you know about how that all happened, and how are they doing now?
I have no idea how they met each other. No idea.
Not,
But
I heard Travis like made Taylor a friendship bracelet. You know anything about the bracelets at the concerts?
I know that I think I saw a picture of him making bracelets with his mom, and at the most recent Chiefs game that Taylor went to, she was wearing an 87 bracelet. But I don't think that's how they met.
I mean, you should do your research. I'm pretty sure it had something to do with it. Do you know? Are they going strong as a couple now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's gonna be going to any more of his games because
What? Why not?
I think we talked about it earlier, me and you. She's starting her international tour dates in 2 weeks.
So she's not even gonna go to the home games anymore.
Yeah, well, she's not going on Sunday because she's gonna be practicing, and then she's gonna be away probably for
That's
most of them.
that's tough for Travis because I don't know if y'all have seen. Travis has done so much better with Taylor Swift in attendance than he's done with her not being
I
there.
can't believe you forgot his jersey number.
Okay.
That's a disgrace to Travis Kelsey.
All right. With Taylor Swift in attendance, the Chiefs are an undefeated 4-0. And Kelsey had 432 receiving yards in those games. In the 4 games she didn't go, the Chiefs were 2-2, and Kelsey only had 151 yards. So clearly, he loves having his girl in the crowd for some, I guess, confidence boost. Would you say that's a
Yeah,
factor?
also I looked it up and I already knew this, but Travis went to one of the shows that Taylor did, the at Arrowhead Stadium. I'm not sure where that is, but
Kansas
he went
City.
there. Where is it?
That's the Chiefs stadium.
Oh yeah, so he went to the show there, and maybe they met there.
Yeah, I think they did meet there because he tried to give her a friendship bracelet and she didn't see him, but then she learned about it and was humbled by the gesture.
Okay, that
It's
must have been why then.
it's a good love story and it's getting a lot of attention. One hell of a power couple. As a Taylor Swift fanatic, of Swifty yourself, is there anything else you want to add or anything else you could tell us about Swift and or Kelsey?
Well, she has a song on the Fearless album called 15. Do you know 15?
I don't. I know
And it
22. That's a banger. I don't
no,
know about you. Right, go
the
ahead.
song 15 has a line in it that says, "In your life, you'll do things greater than dating the boy on the football team." So now she's dating the boy on the football team.
Yep, it was all pre-planned, I'm guessing. And then the
Exactly.
next album will come out right after they break up. She probably already has the breakup song written for when it happens.
That's definitely not true.
I'm kidding. Good luck, Taylor and Travis. We're all rooting for you. All right, Miss Spagnolo, I have a game for you.
Okay,
Are you interested?
sure.
I am going to show you. This is kind of to test your knowledge because I have to vet all my guests that come on. I need to make sure the guests that I have on this show to talk sports are experts and have knowledge in their field and what we're talking about. So I am going to play a game with you where I'm going to test your sports knowledge, where you can prove yourself as a legitimate football expert guest. Hey, first logo.
Dolphins, Miami Dolphins.
Yes, 2 points for Erin. Was that easy?
That was easy.
Okay,
I have Waddle from the Dolphins on my fantasy team,
so that's how you knew. Fantasy
but he's not
football.
doing very well.
Fantasy football is gonna give you like all the answers.
That's the Commanders, right?
Nope. Would you like to try again?
Is it Washington something? No, because that's the Commanders.
Nope. Next, name this logo.
Is that the Bills or no?
Yes, the
Buffalo
Buffalo
Bills.
Bill. How are you so good at this?
I don't know.
I'm gonna find one that will get you. I'm gonna get you eventually. Can you get this one?
That's the Falcons, right?
Eh. Would you
Wait,
like to try again? You lose
is it the
points every
Texans?
and you're losing points for every wrong guess. I think you're in the negatives by now.
Wait, let me just try once more. It's not the Raiders, right?
Nope. All right, Aaron. We're down to the last three logos. And if you get all three, I'll give you a prize.
Okay.
Here we go. Name this team.
How many guesses do I get?
One.
Just one?
All right, three.
Okay, Chargers,
No.
Falcons,
No.
Saints.
No.
What was it?
The Houston Texans.
Oh, damn it.
Next.
I've never seen that before in my life.
What?
Wait, no, put it back. It's not the Ravens, right?
No. Close.
Rams?
Yes. Good job. You got it. You were guessing, but I'll take it.
Okay.
All right, the last one, the grand finale logo. Can you score at home plate? Can you get into the end zone for the touchdown? Can you make the basket right in front of the hoop? Erin, this is the last one for all the marbles. This last one is worth 1,000,000 points. All right, bring it home. You have to get the last one. Are you ready?
Damn, that's some pressure, but okay.
Name this team.
Falcons.
No, why do you guess the
Oh,
Why do you guess the
Eagles.
Falcons? No! Why do you guess?
Seahawks?
Yes, third time's a charm. Thank you. Why do you always guess the Falcons for everyone?
I don't know.
You think everyone's the Falcons. Oh yeah, football is a great sport, a lot of great teams, a lot of great logos.
I like the Chiefs.
And yeah, I know. Why do you like the Chiefs?
You know why, but they're also good usually.
Tell the people.
Well, they're usually good, but I dropped them in
So you're a bandwagon?
Hmm?
So you're a bandwagon?
What's that mean?
I like them because they're good. That means you're a bandwagon. Front runner fan.
No, I like them because my favorite singer is getting their
So
tight end
basically
or whatever
you only like them because of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, but I also love Patrick
At
Mahomes.
least you admit. Yeah, what's up with Brittany Mahomes and Taylor becoming BFFs? Do you buy that?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, all right. That'll do it for us. Erin, you brought incredible Taylor Swift knowledge, some fun, silly logo game guessing, and a beautiful face to this podcast. Thank you so much for joining.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good night.